Judges Corner is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com and gatheringmagic.com. Support our show by visiting both websites. Now it's time for Judges Corner with David Green.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Judges Corner. Today we're going to be going over Journey into Nyx and its mechanics. And with Journey into Nyx comes a couple of returning mechanics from the Theros block. To learn more about them, you can check out some of our older videos on the topic, where we discuss mechanics like Bestow, Scry, Monstrosity, and Heroic, along with the God's Devotion and how it works for both multicolor gods and single color gods. So let's go ahead and take a look at the new mechanics that are in Journey into Nyx. The first mechanic we're going to take a look at is Constellation, a triggered ability that appears on enchantments that triggers whenever it or another enchantment enters play, regardless of it being an aura, a creature, or just a plain old enchantment. Each enchantment offers us a different ability, so make sure to read them each carefully. Next up is Strive, an ability that makes spells cost more when you select more than one target for them. You can also select any number of targets, but you better have the mana to back it up, otherwise the game is going to back up that spell. You cannot select the same target more than once, so no popping extra Strive mana into one creature. And if one of the creatures is removed before the spell resolves, you lose out on that bonus, but the rest of the spell will continue to resolve as long as at least one target is still legal. And since Strive says that you can select more than one target, if the other targets are creatures with Heroic, then each of their Heroic abilities will still trigger. Although we already talked about this in our last two episodes for Theros block, as a reminder, the multicolored God's Devotion is decided by the number of mana symbols on permanents for each point of mana. Hybrid mana only counts for one or the other, but is not counted twice. So for example, a Nightfell Spectre would contribute 3 black for a Pharika, or 3 blue for a Crufix, but not 6 for Phonax. So keep in mind, Hybrid doesn't double a dual-colored God's Devotion, so only 3 would be contributed by the Spectre. Gods are indestructible, which means that they can't be destroyed by effects that explicitly destroy them, or when they have lethal damage on them. And their other abilities are still accessible and active regardless of whether or not they're creatures. When they do become creatures, they still can be exiled by cards like Path to Exile, sacrificed from things like Devour Flesh, or put into the grave if their toughness goes to 0 or less, from Tragic Soul. Well, that concludes our episode on Judges Corner Journey into Nyx. If you have any questions about this episode or other questions in general, make sure to send us an email at judgescorner@gatheringmagic.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, make sure to shuffle thoroughly, play at a reasonable pace, and have fun.